Welcome to the Perry Prosthetics how-to video series. In this video, Perry Prosthetics founder and prosthetist Chris Perry will be joined by our friends Jim and Eileen on how to properly put on prosthetic shrinkers utilizing a donning tube.
All right, so we have Jim here who's 9 years post-op amputee, but he remembers very well the several days post-op when his limb was very sensitive and a shrinker sock was ordered by the physician. So we're going to demonstrate donning the shrinker sock using a donning tube, which are available from Perry Prosthetics. The shrinker sock obviously goes on to create compression, which improves circulation and starts to shape the limb and moves the excess fluid up toward the heart so that the body can get rid of it. So when you're post-op, you're very sensitive, so pulling one on, dragging it on over the limb causes a lot of discomfort to the patient, and it's not good for an incision site as it's healing. So we use this tube. You take the silicone or the shrinker sock and you turn it inside out. Sometimes it's a little tricky depending on how the size of the shrinker sock. This tube is a larger tube for above knee amputees. You put it on inside out, and then you have them maybe about halfway, right about there. Have them lift their limb. You make sure it's good and snug across the top. So as you push it on, the distal end gets snug at the distal third. We don't want it to be baggy. From here, as you move forward, move the tube up, you let the shrinker sock slide off the tube, and then if it don't go up long enough, if it's not long enough, just push it off. But you can see that this stayed nice and snug distally. Then you roll the top of the shrinker over so the little silicone dots are against the skin and keep it from sliding down. Jim, how'd that feel compared to when you first had it put on, when you were really sensitive? Did you?
Oh, you couldn't touch me. I'd go through the ceiling.
So
that was way better.
Shrinker sock's on, it's nice and snug distally, and we didn't make him scream doing it. All right, we got Eileen here today helping us do a shrinker sock donning with a tube. We would use this tube if Eileen was post-op and had a very sensitive limb or if it was still healing. So again, the shrinker sock's used to help maintain compression on the limb so that excess fluids don't pool distally. It helps control edema and improve healing through circulation. So to do this with a donning tube, you would turn the shrinker sock inside out. And this is probably where a little bit of struggle might be depending on how small the shrinker sock is. This one's pretty small. So you pull this over the edge of the tube. With it inside out, I said again. So you bring this to the limb and you push it up on the limb without letting it slide off the tube until it's snugged on this end of the limb. And then as it's snug, as you push up, it starts rolling off the tube. Yep. And onto the limb. Slide the shrinker sock up on the limb, pull the tube off, and then roll the top over so the silicone dots on the sock are in contact with the skin and keep this from sliding down. You want to look and make sure that there's no wrinkles, and you can see how this is nice and taut on the distal end. We don't want it to be baggy at the distal end because that will allow fluid to pool there and do just the opposite of what our goals are.
The team at Perry Prosthetics is always available to answer questions from patients, family members, and medical professionals. Contact us at any time.